everyone, and welcome back to Fish Big. In this episode today, I'm not actually fishing. I made a decision with the wind that's going to happen here in southern Alberta. It would just be a headache. I might have got an hour or two of fishing in if I was lucky before it just became a hurricane. Not only that, I have some other commitments today to deal with. So without further ado, I'll get into today's episode. What I'm going to tell you today is just a few little tips on where and how to locate these big pike. With that too, there's always going to be some big walleye hanging around where big pike hang around, so that's a pretty good bonus. I'm going to show you a type of map here, which is called a bathymetry map. So it's like a color-coded map of the depths of the area on a lake. There's all kinds of different maps you can get, like hydrographic and these bathymetry maps, all kinds of stuff. And what they do is they give you an idea of depths, drop-offs, where there's going to be some really good locations. It's a great way to start. With that in mind, once you find what looks like a really good location on a lake, especially if you haven't fished it before, but you really know there's some really good fish in these lakes and you want to try and target them, that's a good place to start. And once you get to the lake, it may not be quite the way the map said. So sometimes you just got to sit there and punch holes until you find really good depths, really good drop-offs. In one of my last videos, what I'm doing is I found a hidden island. And I'm up on top of that island. It's a big hidden island, and there's a flat, and then whitefish are coming up and feeding on that island. And then pike are following them up there, and it's close to deep water. One of my favorite areas to fish, though, too, is drop-offs. So if you have, and the sharper the drop-off, the better. And what I mean by that is when a big pike is cruising along, there's a drop-off. Say it goes from about 6 feet, and there's a sharp drop-off in 10 feet. What they can do is just cruise along that drop-off, and if anything just peeks over a little bit, comes over that flat, boom, they come up and ambush it. That's a really good spot. And the whole thing is it can be a hard day punching holes, but once you find these locations, that makes everything so much awesomer when you fish. It's a location. A lot of times these locations are ones you found yourself, and when you locate these big pike and you start catching them, wow, it's just the adrenaline through the roof. So what I'll do is I'll show you one of these maps just to give you an idea. Here it is. So you can see that it's color-coded, with the depths and stuff like that. There's a little scale on the side there. It shows you. You might not be able to see it in the picture that I showed, but it shows you the depths, different colors, different depths. And when you blow the map up, you would be able to see the depths and the colors, what the color represents. That's a good place to start. But anyways, after you locate these spots, it's just a matter of. Sometimes these locations, they just seem premium and you fish them a few times and it's just not producing. There'll be a reason for that. Maybe it's not easily seen. But a lot of times you got to make a decision. It's time to pull up and find a new location. But if you keep at it, you will find these locations. It can be very daunting, but just keep at it. You'll find these locations for these monster pike, monster walleye. And that feeling you get when you found that location yourself is so much better than when somebody pointed you to a location. I mean, you get pointed to a location, it's still going to be a hell of a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. But when you find it yourself, it's just such a better feeling. But anyways, that'll be pretty much today's episode. But at the end here, there's all kinds of other ways to, a lot of the fun is finding out for yourself where to catch these fish. But hopefully, if I did a good job here, I pointed some of you in a direction where you may catch some nice fish. And without further ado, I'm going to show you a few pictures of some fish that I've caught in some of these locations. Awesome. Hope you enjoy.